So firstly I was thinking about because I thought that this feedback loop model was the best one. At the same time, I thought that the relationship of what is an agent, what is a structure, is really slippery because, say, since people aren't born just in a void, they have all their parents or people around them and school and other things. So then things like values, concept, norms, I think are agents too, but they have this force on the individual, which then they can interact with. So I didn't divide it up. I just kind of worked with the rows as they were, kind of randomly, but just showed that everything can have a sort of relationship with something else.
So yeah, I think there's a mixture of this being my own concoction or vision of how I understand myself in relation to the world, but also I think it's totally informed by I don't know, my life so far, and knowing that there is a similarity or I guess as a person that I also depend on relation or other people. So
yeah, what were you thinking?
Ask me the question again because I was thinking.
How are you most similar to other people? And I want to qualify, let's say, in what ways do you think your thinking is most similar to other people?
I don't know if I would say most other people, but I think there are a segment of people who would have paused as I paused and probably wanted to pause for even longer. I think there are, when I am thinking, my body, my eyes do tend to go up at an angle for this feeling that I can access somehow the thoughts, that they both exist within and beyond me, and so I'm trying to connect the two, and I think that there's ways that is both very similar and also dissimilar. I think that that's what connects me to a segment of humanity.
Positioning myself as an agent sort of in the center of all of this, the first thing that I drew is sort of this blob, right, which is my affectual cloud, which feels very expansive, full of possibilities, outside in some way of even the bounds of any of these constructs for me, which I feel is very different from the way you both started. But ultimately bound by the material world, some sort of we can't leave the planet, for example.
The circles representing bodies, and the squares representing media, books, movies, whatever. And attached to each of them is this triangle, which is the social construct. So somebody within this network over here, these people might have a shared notion, a shared social construct around family or status. But there are other possibilities, other ideas of how status might operate or what is valuable within status that can also find its way into these networks. But I think that there's so much more, and I just got so caught up thinking about how I guess how social network or how social constructs network that I didn't actually answer the question of what is a social construct or how would one model that.
Then I was okay, given that I'm the agent of this theory, and I quite like that you mentioned that we're drawing a picture of a theory, so then I was just kind of going through these steps of there's a theory and there's a picture, and then there's all this language that maps this interaction with myself, the theory and the picture. So then I took all these steps trying to question them. And then I went back to my 3 kind of main blocks that I wrote down at the beginning, which were gender, borders, and money. And I think that the sort of gender one is the one that's mostly infusing my trajectory into this theory, because I think it's the one that I'm most in control of, even though I said I was lower earlier, but in a way I feel more of an agent in that respect.
Would you like to explain your model of social construction here?
My model just presumes some like overall systems that we define ourselves within. I think the heaviest for me seems to be capitalism, that defines this like way we can't get out of our structural racism and patriarchy.